on Facebook, Mark Patterson Show.
The Mark Patterson Show. Your news, your views. Get in touch on social media. Ring 0300 123 1001.
Wonder, would my studio guest find solutions to a lot of this stuff? He is digitally minded for absolute sure. Anyway, with another matter in hand today, if you're a 3 customer, mine was in diffs from last night. Well, you'll be experiencing, and I quote, technical difficulties with voice, text and data. It's on its backside today, basically, is the network. They say, that's their quote, but I wonder you affected. Professor Kevin Curran, of course, is the Professor of Cybersecurity, Ulster University. Kevin, a terrible day. I believe one of their closest competitors yesterday unleashed 5G. 3, not good. They've, what was the phrase we're saying, that their bars are low today?
Yeah, there's 10 million customers in the UK, and I sit here with bags under my eyes and tears because I was in...
You're 3-man?
3-man, and unfortunately the worst possible time. Because BT for some reason take a week to switch my account, even though everything's there. I have no broadband in my house. I had so much to do last night, and I remember exactly at 11:25 my network stopped. I thought it was my iPhone. I rebooted it about 30 times, and after an hour I gave up and went into Main Street.
But for a chap like you, that must feel like starvation.
Well, just because I had no broadband, it wouldn't have affected me so much. You know, no one phones anymore, so if I had the broadband it would, but I was relying on it to do a few reports, and so really, again, that it just can. And there's also people who just have a mobile broadband dongles, which are 3 as well, and they're left without it. But again, we just become so reliant on technology, in this.
What were they doing? It was expected. It was a revamp of sorts. Were they going 5G? What were 3 doing?
I don't necessarily think. Like before, remember the O2 fiasco last year? The same thing happened when across the UK, people, again, initial reports were saying it was a hack and everything else, but really it just turned out to be a faulty switch. Again, that these networks are terribly complex. Again, that even though they have multiple redundancy built into certain parts, there still is central areas where it routes through, and it could have been just one switch in London. We'll find out later, and it could have been a configuration in software, or it could have been a hardware issue, but more likely that it is someone just put the wrong IP address into the software. That's what happened before.
Right, it's still the 4th biggest story nationally. The problem seems to be, began last night, but it did for me as a customer. They've said, we're sorting this out right now. Our engineers are working to fix the service normal, etc., etc. The problems started after maintenance work. They say 10 million customers.
Yeah.
Are people forgiving? The minute you get it back tonight, will you have forgotten about it, Kevin, or will you be mindful of this when they come looking for your renewal?
Definitely mindful. I mean, again, you'll always compare. I know 3 saves me money with roaming, and especially in Europe and down south. So I know I've just found it really has saved me a lot of money, and the coverage is quite okay, and I have a hub that boosts my signal at home. But if it happens again next week or the week after, then how many times are you going to forgive them? And already I bought an O2 SIM card today because I worry, will it be back on tonight, and I need broadband, and if I find my O2 signal is quite good at home, I'll probably switch. So it is not good in any way for them at all. Now, the Consumer Rights Act of 2015 says that services should be carried out with reasonable skill and care, so people could be entitled to some compensation. Now, we're talking in the O2 failure before, customers got 2 days worth of their plan back, and those who were in pay-as-you-go got a £10 voucher discount. So, I mean, we're not talking big sums here.
Tenner.
But you can go and contact them, and if you're not happy with their reply, you can bring them to an ombudsman as well, or adjudication service as well. But really, we're talking... Now, however, I will say, if you're a taxi driver, for instance, and you could prove that you were lost money, now then you have a bigger claim, but you're not going to be able to claim for a day's lost wages or whatever. But definitely, if you're in a service like taxiing where it relies on mobile connections, you really do have cause for complaint there, for compensation. So I would tell people who definitely were affected last night financially to raise the issue. Now, wait a few days before but you got 8 weeks to do it anyway.
You need to say to digital wains like me that when you come into places like your work, switch on your Wi-Fi and that works. Kevin, that might seem like totally self-evident to you. It wasn't to me. So I was out and then I came into work and I thought, I'll switch on the Wi-Fi, and then I got all my messages. So if you have Wi-Fi, it bypasses your 3.
Of course, yeah. They're two
that's
separate.
Not immediately obvious.
Yeah, they're 2 separate networks.
Right, O2 switched on their 5G yesterday. There's a Twitter spot here. This will interest you. 3 UK replying to at O2. Oi, did you unplug our network so you could plug in your 5G? Not cool, guys. That's power socket etiquette 101 or 999. Cheeky. doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it
I
doesn't,
steal
no.
your 5G to switch on my 5G. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work like that at all. No, it really is. I'm pretty sure an engineer typed in the wrong command.
All right, then. Listen, let me draw you totally unfairly across Brexit and the body politic today, Kevin. Just finally, look, they're talking about matters being reached in this protocol to the digital satisfaction of the UK. Those phrases I find hilarious, but also ununderstandable. On your journey, have you seen stuff like tax, VAT, border checks? Are digital solutions, unseen, immediate solutions, round the corner, Kevin? Is that where we're going to be ending up here, or is that all just baloney?
Probably not all baloney, but again, of course, digital solutions will maybe help with, goods crossing transit at RFID. You can be able to automatically tag things. We talk.
Well, the ring road in Dublin's a digital solution. If you have the thing in the
is, yeah.
car, it clicks, you're charged, you never see it, you just drive under the arch and you're got for your fibre or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But again, of course, digital can solve a lot of problems, but it's not magical. It's not as if we didn't have paper for years and we're still using it in many cases. But again, it's possible, but it's really no magic bullet.
All right then. Kevin Curran, thank you for joining us today. Professor Kevin Curran there of the Ulster University. Lots of your thoughts coming in today, but folks, I'm always conscious that if